All right, guys. My engineer forgot to take off the mute button all this time. So we just saw Tua and the Dolphins lose this game, but the game is overshadowed by the concussion that Tua suffered late in the third quarter when the Dolphins were driving down 31-10. And what I was saying earlier before I realized I had the damn mute button on, I had a bunch of notes for the game, and I just everything went out the window when that happened, and then the game quickly digressed sort of to garbage time. The latest I heard before I went on the air here was that he was in the locker room with family, his brother. He had full movement in all extremities. He was able to walk off after the play. Where oddly enough, who uh, the guy who hits him is Damar Hamlin, the guy who obviously we saw a couple years ago, not quite 2 years ago, but a couple seasons ago, go into cardiac arrest on the field. He's the guy involved in the play on Tua's injury. So right away, people are going to start asking. They're already asking, should this guy retire? A lot of people said he should have last time. I was one of those people. I thought it was really incredible that he went through last year without getting hurt, but he was pretty well protected last year, and he really didn't run the ball. That's obviously not been or ever will be a part of his game. Even on the scamper he had today for like 11 yards, and he ran that was really in slow motion. The running, that's just not his thing. And then on this play, he had the first down. I don't know what you know. Again, easy for me to say here, smoking a cigar, watching the game, you know, with my drink to say what he should have done. But he had the first down. You got to slide, especially a guy like him. Um, but you know, if if we want to go before that happened, this was this was one of those games where if if you are what a lot of because the fan base is, I don't want to say divided, but there's there's you run into like almost two kind of Dolphin fans nowadays. The ones that think we're great and we're just about to put it all together, and there's always some reason why we didn't. It's usually like some injury or something like that. And then there's the other part of the fan base, which unfortunately I'm part of this, is that I think we haven't proven anything, and that's not an opinion. If you look at the numbers, we don't beat the winning teams. I think we're now 1-7 the last 8, and maybe 3-13 or 14, 3-13 the last 16 games against teams with winning record. This game in the last couple of seasons, I believe it's 1-12 now, or one out of the last 13 we've won versus the Bills. This wasn't even a ball game. It's going to be overshadowed by the injury, and we hope he's all right and everything. But if you're looking beyond the injury at just the performance of the team, it was terrible. It's more of the same. We've seen it over and over again. Um, I mean, they're harder than it was for us to beat the Patriots back in their heyday. So, this was the kind of game that if you wanted to change those narratives, which, a lot of people, for whatever reason, in this fan base refuse to acknowledge those numbers, which are clear. They didn't do anything to change any of that. I mean, this was not even a ball game, and we're lucky we're not 0-2, really, if you look at it, because the Jags, they gave us that game with the fumble. Yeah, Holland made a great play, but they run that in. That game's over too. We're 0-2 with no quarterback, and I have to ask the couple questions. One, This is not second guessing. I first guessed it. I would have made him play out this year. Why? Because what you saw today was a real possibility, unfortunately. I'm not trying to be insensitive. I'm not trying to. But the fact of the matter is, he has an injury history. It even extends beyond concussions if you really look into it. And that's a major, major consideration when you hand out that type of contract, especially for a guy that you could have had him play under his contract. You could have even franchise tagged him next year if you wanted to. But Chris Greer has hitched his wagon here, and that wagon, it's not too steady right now. Amazon's got Josh Allen going to the podium. He seemed like he was in command the whole entire game. Dude, did Tyreek do anything today? Early on, I got to tell you, I liked that we were running the ball a lot. It almost seemed like we ran it to a fault. How many carries did we have in this game? 24, 25, 30, 34. 34 carries, well over 100 yards, 25 passes. Kind of uncharacteristic for them. A-Chain, big in the passing game. Jonas Smith got some good work, 6 for 53. A-Chain was 7 for 59. He only got 7 catches for 65 yards out of Waddle and Hill combined. The Bills were sort of playing that deep two safeties, and they were just trying to hit it underneath and get what they can. A lot of short passes, a lot of behind the line or at the line of scrimmage passes to see if anybody could do anything. Not a lot of those went for a lot of yards. And James Cook was cooking us, dude. Literally, 3 touchdowns, 2 on the ground, 1 on the air, and they didn't really have an answer for him. What did he do? Let's see. Even Josh Allen didn't really. He had 139 yards through the air, 1 touchdown. Cook had 11 carries, 78 yards, 2 touchdowns, and his 1 touchdown catch was his lone reception on the day. And then, they kind of spread it around a little bit to Shakir, Kincaid. We usually can't cover that guy. And surprisingly, Hollins didn't do anything. Usually those ex-Dolphin guys, when they play against us, usually punish us. So do we call somebody? Who do you call? Do you still have Ryan Tannehill's number? How do you feel about that? Is that crazy? He said he's waiting for a perfect opportunity. And the perfect opportunity, I think, was some of his requirements were a good offensive line, a playoff contender, and I think the right amount of money. I don't know if we have all those things. We might be able to get him some of those things. I'm not sure the cap implications and the money we could. Maybe they can figure something out if they really wanted to get him. Who else is out there if you're going to get somebody? Or do you just roll it with Skylark Thompson and see if he can progress with some practice, maybe for one more week, since you got some time left until you go to Seattle. Does this team have enough talent to win with a guy like Skyler? Or do you absolutely need to go get somebody? Or do you just wait and see how Tua progresses and he comes back? Do you think he should come back? I'm one that I didn't think he should have come back before. So, if you're asking me now, I'm still back on what I was earlier, which is, especially now that he's got some guaranteed money, it's not like he's going to be broke if he can't play ever again. Does that seal Greer's fate? I don't know. Really sucks, dude. Really sucks. I don't know what else to tell you about that. I guess we're just gonna have to see how he progresses, but it didn't look good. He did the let me see if I can show you guys. I have it somewhere here. I'll show you the play where this happened. It's late in the third quarter. Dolphins are kind of driving, and I believe it's a third down. I'm not sure if it was fourth down, but it was definitely at least third down. And he tucks it away. And he puts his head down. And let's see, do I have it up there? Okay. And then this happens.
Down by 21 points, 4th and 4. Pressure. Tua steps up, he's going to run for the first down. He takes a shot.
Notice the head bouncing off the turf, which is what got him, and then the hand, which they call that fencing response. Obviously not anywhere near as bad as what he experienced versus the Bengals, but you could tell right away it was bad with Daniel Hewlett. And
meanwhile, they look at Tua.
Everybody's concerned, obviously.
Dolphins taking a knee at the moment, back at the 15-yard line as they attend to him. Here it is again. Shot from Hamlin right there. Down he goes. Check him out. Back after this.
Yeah, I don't know. His family's got to be telling him, hey, you know, maybe this is a wrap. You know, this is not worth, you know, a football career is just a small part of your life. You know, what's it going to look like 20 years, 30 years, 40 years from now? You know, he's a young man. As far as the game, I don't know. I read this game was not really competitive, man. Before the injury, Tua was not having a good game. Anyways, he had 3 picks. One bounced off one of his receiver's shoulder. One looked like a miscommunication. One was on a drop back while Armstead was out of the game, and I don't know if he was trying to throw the ball away and didn't quite make it, but it was just a lofted pass that didn't have enough on it to get out of bounds or where it was going, and it was just easily picked off for a pick 6. 17 for 25, 145 yards, 1 touchdown, 3 picks on the day. Kind of over at after that first touchdown in second half, which made it 31-10, and it stayed that way. So I don't know. If I'm the Dolphins, I'm starting to look at options, because obviously you didn't like Mike White, who was actually, I believe he's a Bill now, actually. Skyler, you didn't believe in him enough last year that you brought in Mike White. This year, you got rid of Mike White. You left him in, even though he's the guy who had experience and played that playoff game. Damn near beat the Bills a couple years ago. Has that guy been given a fair shake? Probably not. If Tua can't play anymore, do you want to roll the rest of the year with that guy? Probably not. So you gotta start looking at some options. And obviously, Ryan Tannehill is one of those, right? How about Brady? Is that crazy to think about Brady? I can't stand that guy, but I'm sure his name is going to be brought up. I'm just looking to see what the rumor mill says here. Oh, this is just one of those spam website that says Dolphins will sign Ryan Tannehill, but that's just crap. But they should look at him. All right, Dolphins fall 31-10. Tua's hurt, didn't look good. We've been through this movie before. Let's see how this version of it plays out. Last time when I did my journal on week 2, I talked a little bit about Tyreek, so I guess I should do that before I go again. At that point, I hadn't seen the body cam footage, and I just want to say, that cop, he was like on too much cafecito or something. Yes, Tyreek should have rolled his window down and maybe been more cooperative, but also that guy was too fired up, man. Like, no need to really snatch him out of the car like that and throw him down on the pavement and get on top of him. It could have been handled better on both sides, but that officer looks like a problem. On the same token, you gotta do what they say. If they say lower the window, lower the window. If they say give me your ID, give me your ID. If they say step out of the car, step out of the car. I mean, if you do what they say, you're probably going to be okay. And then, then you have other recourses, but those things could go haywire real quick if you're not, especially that guy. He just looked like he was out to, I mean, he went from 0 to 60, like, lower your window. If you don't lower your window, get out of the car. Get out of the car. As a matter of fact, I'm going to get you out of the car. And it was just one after the other. So after seeing the body cam footage, I still think, dude, you could have handled it better, Tyreek. The officer could have handled it way better as well. Some of the other officers that I saw looked like they were handling a little bit better. This guy was like a 27-year vet, so I don't know if he's got seniority on them, and maybe some of those guys are, don't want to step on any toes. Apparently that guy had been in a coma a few years ago and is like a DJ on his time off, and you never know what other kind of things are going on, but it was unfortunate. That's already old news, but I just wanted to touch on it since I did speak on it last journal after the Jag game, and I hadn't seen the body cam footage. All right, guys, there's not much to say. This is a terrible loss for the Dolphins. Hope Tua's all right. And then we got a lot of stuff to think about here with I guess we got about 10 days left to go before we got to go cross country to Seattle. Will it be Skyler? Will we have somebody in? If we get somebody in, will they even be able to play by then? I'm imagining it'll be Skyler Thompson. But we'll see what the long term holds. All right, guys, go Fins, and hopefully there's a better outcome next time. All right, peace.